Welcome back to the one podcast. When there's two podcasts and you have three podcasts.
Four podcasts.
And
five
you got five podcasts.
Six podcasts.
And then you might have 7 or 8 podcasts. And then you're going to want to have 2 more podcasts.
That makes 10. That makes 10
and then
podcasts.
You got podcasts spilling out of your pockets and then out of your mouth.
There's 10 podcasts happening in your ears right now.
And they're all going everywhere.
You're listening to Good Morning America. Right. Our intros get naughtier and naughtier every day.
That's right.
Every day we do an intro.
That's wrong.
When we see each other, every time we see each other, we do a genuine intro. A gintro.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could be bad.
Gentrification.
Oh. Tim's going to play us a song to open up the podcast. Imagine all the people living life in the dead. Imagine all the people said, I don't want a religion. No religion for John.
Dad. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
This
has been episode 19.
One episode in the bag.
Sorry. Good morning.
Hey.
Tim, it's
What's
morning.
Up?
It's morning. It's a 10:30 morning.
9 in the morning, is it?
No, it's definitely not 10:30.
It's 11.
I didn't get here. I was supposed to... Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was supposed to get here at 10:30.
11, 12.
You know, was a bit tired. Woke up a little bit late. Was a bit sluggish.
Sluggy Bobo, baby.
I was a sluggy Bob, and then I came on down to the studio, and I pooped, and I pooped for a while.
Poop in the studio.
I might have been pooping playing solitaire.
Poop in the studio.
There's maybe nothing better than that, by the way.
Studio. I can't do anything while I'm pooping, really.
Really? You gotta hold on?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, sometimes when I'm in the bathroom, like, I'll watch a YouTube video or something, but it's like, I have to get the pooping out of the way first.
Really?
Can't focus on anything till I've done the pooping. So if it's a bad poop and I need a minute, I'll watch a YouTube video while I'm taking my minute. I'm like, I need a minute. So
I see.
But
That's
like
fair.
during the pooping, can't do anything.
I guess I'm not really. So like when I'm clenching it out, right? It's like in between. I'm playing solitaire in between the poop session,
right?
Because like it comes in waves.
That's the thing. Like if I'm trying to get her on out of there, I'll pause the video. Like if I'm in it's like I gotta pause the video. Can't think about this right now.
I can't focus on. I'm gonna miss what they're saying because I'm clenching my eyeballs shut.
Damn right. Because you don't want your eyeballs to pop out of your face.
When was the last time you pooped with your eyes closed?
Last week.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a second.
Yeah. I had a bad one last week.
I mean, if you were to see someone pooping, like real bad poop, wouldn't you kind of want them to... Thank you. Wouldn't you kind of want them to have their eyes closed?
Yeah,
like
I think
if you
so.
were looking at someone pooping and they're just like staring into your soul while shit's coming out? There's something about that.
Something about it.
Yeah.
Something about that just ain't right.
Something about it. Tim's holding up the I love you sign, like the rock and roll I love you sign, and he's shaking it back and forth
as I can
vigorously. And they pointed at me. It's like he was gearing up a point.
Yeah, that's right. I had to charge it up
with an
it's
love
my super.
You.
It's my super.
What do you mean you're super? Where's that from?
I don't know. Isn't that Smash Your Brother?
What?
When you smash a brother, don't you use supers?
There's
Superman?
Final Smashes.
Don't you have Superman? Doesn't Superman do something in that game? Doesn't Superman come in and he's
do you think that Superman is in Super Smash Brothers?
Yeah. His name's almost in it, in the title.
I gotta be honest.
He's got to be in the game.
I gotta be honest, no.
No, I don't think any of the other DC characters are in there, but Superman, yeah.
I don't think a single DC character is in there.
And then there's that one guy, what's his name? Dr. Phil is on it.
What are we talking about now?
Super Smash Bros.
Ultimate?
No. Oh, Raw.
No, that's a Monday night show.
Yeah. Monday night Super
Brawl.
Smash Bros. Raw.
Dude, why isn't there a wrestling show called Brawl?
There should be.
There should be. Like Monday Night Brawl.
Yeah.
No, they shouldn't do
What about
that because they'd get in trouble.
Brawlhalla.
I've seen you play that game.
Maybe I'm in that game.
They do have wrestlers in that game. I do know that.
They do.
But I've never played Brawlhalla.
They got a lot of things in that one.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I did. I played Brawlhalla with you for a second. And I was like, this is weird.
For a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
God, I am so snot. I'm so snot. Riven and driven.
Snap.
What did you do this week, Tim?
Snope.
You did Snope?
Yep.
That's my favorite villain from Star Wars. We'll be right back.
Well, so this week is week 2 of my new job position thing. I'm very stressful. Just really stressful.
It got more stressful
all week. Yeah.
Why is that?
So the first week they gave me like a number of things to do, right? I felt like I was keeping up. You know, I wasn't getting everything done, but they weren't expecting me to. It's like these are things that you'll get done as time goes on. Here's all this.
And now
this week it was just even more. It was just so much. I was talking to Tia and I was like, I'm pretty sure I've processed like 14 jobs in the time I've been there, which some of them are small, but like that feels like a lot. That's a lot of jobs when some of them I have to spend a couple hours designing.
When you say jobs, what do you mean by that, like, specifically?
Vehicles and carry out orders and stuff like that.
Like that's
so like
basically it's like a task, I guess.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends on what it is, like what I'll be doing. But like some of them, I'm like designing something, like I'm setting up a layout for a vehicle, and then I have to send it off for approval. And then if it's approved, then we have to like set it up to be, printed or cut or whatever it needs to be done. And then I either am telling somebody to send it out to the printer or doing it myself and getting it cut and getting it, getting all the pieces weeded out so that they're ready to go and be put on a truck or go and be shipped to somewhere. So like that's a job.
That's a job.
Yeah. So it's like 5 or 6 steps usually. Okay. And each step can take like an hour or more. And it's just like, it feels like a lot that I'm doing. I don't know. So it's been a little stressful because I've been having trouble keeping up with it. Like what do I need to be working on right now? Because you have 7 things on my plate right this second.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Which one do I need to do?
And they don't tell you, do they?
Not really. And like when I ask, sometimes if there's something specific they really need, they'll let me know that. Right. But like when it's just like we've got kind of all these that like the trucks aren't here yet, so they're not a high priority, but like they're coming. So get them done. It's like I don't know what to do.
They're always so. It's like I've noticed that with bosses just pretty much anywhere. Yeah. If you do the thing where you're like, so which one should I get done first? They go, well, that doesn't matter because I want them all done.
Yeah, they need to all be done.
And it's like, well,
get them all done.
I know that, but when you approach them with that, you're saying like they might not all. I will do everything I can, which is what you should be doing, and what you should say. I'm doing everything I can to complete all the tasks you can. Yeah, but it's a lot, and I might not. Even within all my power, I might not be able to get all of them done. Right. In that scenario, which ones would you rather have done? Yeah. And they still are like, oh, I want them all done.
We need them all done. Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter.
And that's something like when I was first learning about like what I'd be doing in this job, they were explaining. So like Andrew is like,
shout out.
He is the head installer.
Shout out, Andrew.
Shout out, Andrew.
Head installer.
Shout. Andrew, he's the head installer, which you would think means that he installs a lot, but it doesn't. He almost never installs, but he's in charge of all the installers. Yeah. So he's keeping track of what they need and what vehicles need to be installed, and like he'll send out stuff to print and cut, and he'll do all that stuff too. But so he has like a position of power, so he's somewhere in between regular employee and boss. I would say, I mean, I haven't really thought about trying to ask or anything, but I would say that I am still a regular employee. I just have a different job. You know what I mean? But he has like actual, you know, so I go to him a lot when I have questions about stuff or how things should be working, because my boss, Dave, super fucking busy all the time, which makes sense.
Shout out, Dave.
They just bought the business like
Busy Dave.
6 months ago. And they're trying to get out of debt now, because, you know, when you buy a business, you go into debt at first. And so they have taken on, I think he said that in the last 6 months, they've processed over 2,000 jobs. Which means like
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Like, you don't have to know anything about it to realize that's a lot.
Count to 2,000 real quick.
So they're trying real hard to get as much work in as they can, so that they can, you know, make some money to pay off their debt, which makes sense. But so I'm going to Andrew a lot, and he, when we were first starting, was telling me like, okay, so our priority is getting like stuff for vehicles that we have in, so like do that. And I'm like, makes sense. And then later I find out, no, that's not even true. And so doing like vehicles that we get in the shop would be like, he was saying like prioritize that over orders that we're making for somebody to pick up or be shipped. Because he's just like, you know, those are like usually one-off things. Like, we'll just send them out and like just... Oh God!
His microphone is shaking. Everyone shake. God. Everyone shake.
Everybody shake so it sounds normal.
Everyone needs to shake right now.
If everybody shakes, it'll sound normal.
If you're listening to the podcast, this podcast will be normal if you just shake.
Just shake. Just shake. Oh.
No. No.
Yeah. No. I don't know.
We're going to cut to the part where we continue with what we were saying.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the worst Mario impression.
No.
Yippee.
I'm a Mario. I'm a Mario. So,
how much of that is staying in the podcast?
Probably all of it.
Probably all of it.
Not in other podcasts, but this one, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So basically, yeah, like do the jobs that we're installing, and then worry about the carry out orders other times. So I find out this week that's not the case, because apparently we make almost as much money on a carry-out order as we do on an install order. And a carry-out order is like maybe like 1 man hour, maybe like 2 or 3.
Dude, what? A man hour?
Yeah.
As opposed to
a woman hour.
A dog hour.
I guess it should be people hour. Person hour.
Yeah, really. Yeah, come on.
So, yeah.
Fuckers.
Get progressive, Tim.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. People probably already saying that. I haven't heard it, but
I've heard of manpower.
Yeah. You haven't heard man hour? It's like a term they use for like calculating like how long work takes in the workplace. But I would assume in more progressive places they do say something like person hour or
I've never even heard. I haven't heard that either. But I've just heard hours.
But yeah, I mean, fair enough.
How many hours?
I don't know why you have to specify anyway.
That's funny.
Well, actually, I do know why. Because saying man hour or person hour or whatever it should be
means it's a boy.
It's counting like how many hours a person would have to work to do it. So if you've got 3 people on the job and it takes them 3 hours to do it, that would be 9 man hours.
I see.
So it does make a difference.
I see.
But anyway, so like doing doing a carry-out order, that's going to, if we already have the files ready for it, that's going to take me like an hour to do. Like I send it out, I weed out the vinyl that needs to be taken out, and then I put the mask over it so that it's ready to be installed on a truck. Good to go. That's it. And we get paid about the same amount for that as we do some of our cheaper trucks. And the cheaper trucks that we do, I mean, you're talking at least 5 or 7 hours, like somewhere around there. It's going to take almost a whole day to do a truck when you count like producing the graphics to getting them on there to having it ready to go. So like, if those are equal, the better one is obviously the carryout orders.
Yeah.
So they were kind of telling me, it's like, we need to get the trucks done, but you can't just prioritize the trucks because we make most of our money from carryout orders. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so I just need to do both.
I need to do both.
I need to just do both.
So what I said before, where they're like,
exactly.
No, I want them all done. Well, what one first?
Yeah, which one now?
But from that, I'm saying that sounds like that's always how that goes too. Is they say all of them, and then they tell you later, like, oh, next time
all
I want this one.
Different. Yeah,
I want this one. I want all of them,
but do that one.
But do this one
like,
first.
They finally realized, like, oh, this is what you needed to know in the beginning.
Yeah,
let me tell you now.
Or I've had it where bosses don't realize that either. After they just are like, no, it's still all of them. It's still what I said at first.
Yep.
You just needed to know.
I didn't change what I said.
You just needed to know the thing that I don't understand right now.
Yeah.
And
I also had, one of the first jobs that I did was for this church van that somebody brought in. It just needed, we already had graphics set up for it.
You put a cross on it, right? How many crosses?
9. 9 crosses.
How big is the van?
Normal van size.
Okay.
Well, it's extended.
That's so many crosses.
It's not a huge van.
That's so many crosses.
It's not quite as many as it sounds like, because I don't know if you know, but in the Bibli,
rest in peace.
There's Bibli's Believe It or Not.
Bible's Believe It.
I mean, that really is. I mean, believe it or not. Like Yeah. Some people believe it, some people not.
Dude, hold on. I need to go on a tangent. Why did Ripley's Believe It or Not books smell like that?
I don't know.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They all smelled like that.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a phone call. And I just hung up.
I never read those. I would check them out, right? And then I would find one, like, interesting thing, and then I would just look at that.
You would just what?
I would just look at what...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would just look at it.
Sorry, I
wouldn't, like, read it.
I need to look up why it smelled like that. Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So in the Bible, there are 3 crosses because Jesus was being crucified next to 2 other dudes. And so, like, often in imagery, they'll show, like, a hill with 3 crosses on it. So that's what this is. So that's why there are 9.
There's what? Okay.
Because there's one on the side, one on the back, and one on the other side.
I see.
It's just part of their logo.
But still, it's like 9 is a lot. There's that
it's a lot.
Tom Segura joke from one of his specials that he did where he was talking about blowing 9 people. And he's like, that might not sound like that many people, but that's 9. That's a lot. Yeah. Imagine 9 dicks in front of you
right now.
That's insane.
That's a lot of dicks.
That's like there's 1,000 dicks in here.
9 dicks. I mean, you're talking like 45 inches of dick right there.
You're talking about 45 dicks.
45. You're talking about 100 dicks now.
It keeps going up the longer they get.
So on this van, all I really needed to do was so we had a file existing already for this church because we did a bus for them a couple of years ago. So I just needed to bring the text from the bus and then find a way to make it fit on the van, basically. So that was one of the first jobs I did. So I did that, I sent out the layout. They were happy with it. Whatever. I produced the kit to be put on the vehicle, and then I got it out to the installers, and they brought in the van, and it was installed, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then I guess my boss was looking at the pictures that were submitted online for the completion, like the completion forms that we do. And they noticed something weird with like how one of the texts was. They thought it looked a little slanty. Mm-hmm. So we went out to look at it. But unfortunately, this happened after I had already called the client to come pick it up. Because Andrew told me to call the client to come pick it up because it was done. So I did. Mm-hmm. And then they went out and saw this, and they were looking at it, and they're like, oh, this is not good. We need to get this reinstalled. And I'm like, fuck, okay. So I was like, well, let me go call them back. And I called them back, and they're like, oh, shit, well, they didn't say shit.
They should.
Oh, man.
Oh, fucking A.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Get it?
They were like, we're almost there. And I was like, I'm really sorry. If you want to still come, get it, we could like, if you wanted to bring it back in, we could repair it later, or we could try and repair it while you're here. And they were like, no, we'll come get it. When do you think it'll be ready? And I was like, it should be ready tomorrow afternoon. Cool. So they leave, and we go out, and we're taking a closer look at it to make sure everything looks good. Somebody, I don't know how the fuck this happened, but on one side of the bus, there are 3 crosses on each side. Mm. The middle one, the Jesus cross, no top.
What?
So it's just a stick.
Oh, God.
Like, what happened? I don't know how it happened. So, but anyway, all this happens, and I'm reproducing stuff, and we're doing whatever. And somewhere along the way, Andrew is like, hey, Tim, you really need to be, like, keeping up with all the vehicles, like, as they go. No. Like, if it's your job, you should really be, like, making sure it turns out good. And at the time he was saying this, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And this is nothing against him. He's just trying to help me out. Yeah. But like, how would I do it? I don't have time. Like, I'm literally constantly doing something except when I'm eating lunch, and then I leave. Yeah. Like, there is no downtime on this job. Yeah. When would I go? So he wants me to, like, he was basically saying, like, when they're installing it, you should, like, try and stop by and see what they're doing. Make sure it looks like they're doing it the way it's supposed to be done. You designed it. Because I designed it. Yeah. Which I get that. And then he's also saying, like, when it's finished, you should really do a walk around of it to make sure there's nothing wrong before the client gets called. And I'm like,
that sounds
here's
like...
the thing, though. Mm-hmm. I'm not always the one that's going to call the client. Mm-hmm. So how's that going to work?
It's one of those, you're a part of the miscommunication crew.
Right.
Now, when you're like working and stuff and all the bosses, it's like, they can't all get their shit together. Yeah. And now you're a part of that crew now. And you're like, now you're going to see why.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's bad. No, it's all right. But yeah, like, so Andrew was just trying to help me. Like, he was not doing anything wrong. But like, I do think that might be an expectation that's had of me, and I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work, because I don't get notified when the vehicles are done. So how would I go do a walk around of it? Like, it might get picked up before I even... So yeah, I mean... It's like, yeah, and then you say, well, then they should notify you when the vehicles are done. Mm-hmm. But the installers don't know who produced the graphics. So it could have been Andrew that produced them, or it could have been Dave that produced them, or it could have been me that produced them. Yeah. So how do they let us know? Like, it's just kind of... We handle too many jobs for everyone to be, like, calling their own clients. I see. Like, if I took a day off, they can't just wait until I come back to let the client know that this van's ready, because everybody's in a hurry to get their vehicles back. They need them back. Yeah. Especially small things like a church where they only have like one. It's like, we need that. So it's like, there's just not a good way to do it.
So I would think... I mean, yeah, when you say, like, if you had a day off or something, then it's just like...
And then it's like,
it would just have to be...
Most of the time I won't have days off, so it's like, then, yeah, I really should. But then you think about, like, there are 7 things that I've made that are out there right now being put on stuff. I can't check all 7 of those.
Yeah.
How, like... I just can't do that. I don't have time to... If I'm doing that, I'm not making new things.
Yeah.
And if I'm not making new things, then when the next, like, 7 vehicles are in, nothing's going to be ready. So...
The way...
You know?
I mean, I would think that would be... Because I do get where they're coming from to check and see if it's right.
So that's why I'm saying, like, he's just trying to help me out. Like, it's not a bad idea. It's just...
It's like...
I just don't know the reality of that.
So I would say... that, I mean, that sounds like it honestly would be a bigger priority than getting all the stuff in where you're designing all of them done. You know what I mean? Because you're making sure everything is done correctly before it goes out, right?
Right.
Which I know, this is coming from an outside perspective. Then what I'm saying is not all of it's going to get done.
Right.
That's just where it is. That's where it's going to be forever, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because there just isn't...
Yeah. Yeah.
That just won't happen. But
and this is why I'm like, I don't think I can prioritize that because there are supposed to be 2 levels of it being checked already besides me checking it. So it's like the installer that installs it is supposed to check it. And then the person that brings it out front is supposed to check it.
Okay.
I understand the concept of like it would be a good idea if I checked it too, but if those 2 people can't check it and make sure it's right, like...
Yeah, they have it. If they have what they're putting on there, right?
Yeah.
And they have it in front. So, wait, hold on.
Like I'm supposed to print off a layout for them so they have it.
Yeah, wait, why are you having to go down in there?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about it.
I'm like, I don't have time to be doing that.
It's not even that. It's like, why am I doing that?
Why am I doing that? And he was basically saying the responsibility comes back to me if it's fucked up. And I'm like,
no, it's not.
I didn't put it on there. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm the one that's going to have to recut the kit if we have to redo it. But, like, I didn't put it on there. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave's going to be mad at me. You know?
You guys got to come tell me if y'all fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'll do it.
Right.
But that's not on you.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things, like... And I think that part of what Andrew, like, saying this is... Well... For one thing, he should do that. He's the head installer, so he's in charge of installs. So I would say that install problems come back to him if they come back to anybody.
Real shout out to Andrew.
But I think that he's like viewing his mindset and then he's projecting that onto everybody that works there. And I'm like, you're right. It would be great if everybody checked the vehicle, but we can't have 15 people check this vehicle before it leaves the shop. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that doesn't make sense to do. So I don't know. It's been a lot of that all week last week and all week this week. Just like me being told different things by different people.
That's stressful.
And it's hard because like,
it's my least favorite thing.
Like what Dave says goes. He's the boss.
Boss Dave.
Well, Dave and Dawn, they are partners.
Sorry, Dawn, didn't mean to leave you out.
But I don't think about Dawn as much because she doesn't. She handles more of the like. She handles like invoicing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we talk, but she's not usually giving me stuff to do.
Right.
But the things that they say that like that's where it stopped. Like that's what happens. But. When Andrew tells me something, I do need to listen to what he has to say because he does have a position of leadership. And then when I hear stuff from the installers, like I do need to like take into account what they need so that they can get the job done better. So it's like I'm hearing all this stuff from all these different people, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't realize how many people in the job.
No, I didn't realize how many people in the job.
How many people in the job?
That's why I'm not.
So basically, I feel like I've stepped into a similar responsibility position as to what I had at Windows, Doors, and More because there were only 3 of us. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the responsibility falls to us just because there's 3 of us.
There's 3.
That's it. But now it's like I'm in that position of responsibility and there are 15 people relying on me.
Yeah.
So it's like, not that I, not that I have to do everything myself, and not that, whatever, but it's more responsibility than I was expecting. And I'm not upset about that, but it's going to take a minute for me to adjust.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. Yeah. A little bit of a struggle.
Well,
so how was your week?
Do you want to cut to a commercial real quick so we can do the music? Yeah, go ahead. And ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is brought to you by Mothers and Fathers Incorporated. They bring you mothers and fathers whenever you want. It's another delivery service. Anytime you want.
It's crazy how many delivery services are into our podcast.
They really are, but they'll deliver mothers and fathers to you.
Yeah, mothers and fathers.
And what is it? You got a baby that needs to stop crying? Well, call Mothers and Fathers. They'll bring you a mother or father from any country, any state in the United States, or any country in the United anywhere.
Are you having trouble feeling bad about something that you did? You go ahead and get in mothers and fathers to come and make sure you do.
Make them. Would you get a D on your report card? Let's get your mothers and fathers in here to take away your PlayStation.
Are you upset you haven't had a home cooked meal in 3 years because you don't cook? Mothers and fathers,
they'll come. They're kind of like slaves, but we're not going to talk about it because we pay them.
We don't pay them. Not us on the podcast.
No, me and Tim
But
don't.
You at home, you pay them.
You pay them.
You pay them at home.
Buying mothers and fathers.
Yeah, mothers and fathers.
And then mothers and fathers will take 59% of the cut.
Yeah, 99%, 59.
Oh, that's right. It's a typo. It said 59, but I think they meant 99.
99.
They'll take 99% of your money just for mothers and fathers to come to your house. What are you having a garage band? Music session,
and you need to tell your band to quiet down.
You need to tell your band to quiet down. Buy mother and father.
Buy a mom.
Buy your mom a gift for Mother's Day. Was it Mother's Day and you don't have to buy anything for anyone? Come on down, buy this person a gift. Purchase a mother.
And
buy them a gift.
Buy them
and
a
then
gift.
They leave.
Yeah, and then they're out of there.
Thank you, Mothers and Fathers Incorporated.com.
Thank you.
/ Chronic Nonsense for
MNF Incorporated.
A different degree in social studies.
MF and Inc.
Here's our slogan. Get it out, mom time.
MF Inc.
And I have a question for you, Tim.
Yeah, tell me it. Tell me it. Tell me your question about
I've kind of talked to you a little bit about first thing, I couldn't find shit on Ripley's
You couldn't find shit on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Find anything about the smell. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, I could find stuff on like why old books smell, and I feel like we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like going back into that, but like Ripley's Believe It or Not books always smelled way different. Mm-hmm. They smelled different than just old. It was like old book, but mixed with like stink. They stunky.
Yeah.
They stunky.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Yeah. I don't know why they stink.
Maybe it was just ours. Maybe our school had fucked up Ripley's Believe It or Not books.
I don't know. I feel like you could ask. I feel like I had Ripley's Believe It or Not books at other places.
Yeah.
And they always smelled. Like I always open them up.
Interesting.
And they smelled bad. What a weird thing.
It is.
Anyway. But my one thing I want to talk about.
Tell me about it.
So I've talked to you a little bit about some of what I've done this week. But forget it, because I wanted to ask, what do you think the hardest thing to do is?
The hardest thing
what do you think is the hardest thing to do?
That's super broad.
I know it is, but like,
do you mean like something that could be considered a job?
No,
or are we just talking about things?
I'm just talking about things.
The hardest thing to do. That's also a hard question to answer because I feel like it's probably different for everybody.
It is.
But if I just had to go off like what my...
But if you had to like... If it's something that might be different for other people, then that probably shouldn't be considered. Like, we're going objectively, like, what's the hardest thing for everyone to do, you think?
Man, because then it's like... I feel like the answer's got to be some sort of like... not give up any information while you're being tortured or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like, yeah. But I'm having trouble getting my brain into the right thought track.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'll help you out.
Like climbing a mountain or some shit, maybe.
It's something like that. Yeah. Okay, that might be fair.
Maybe climbing a mountain.
Maybe not. So maybe this isn't the hardest thing to do, but I never thought it would be digging a hole.
Digging a hole? Digging a hole sucks, dude.
You ever dug a hole?
I've dug a hole. Fucking hate it. When people bury bodies on TV shows, I'm like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
people do it.
Part of it is where we live, because the soil around our, like, this area of the world is very clay-y, which is really bad for digging. But, like, digging a hole in general is just bad. Not a good time. It's awful.
Tim,
and I've never dug a deep hole.
Really?
I've just dug it like maybe 6 inches down for a few things, or like one small hole, like a couple feet. That's it. I've never dug a big hole.
I've never dug a big hole yet. I was digging, and you kind of cut to cut to some other stuff too about not being dirt that I was digging.
Yeah, man.
I was digging clay.
Yep.
And there's also a lot of
clay, dude.
If clay hardens like rocks.
Yep.
And then there's also fucking stone that you're digging out too. And holy shit, pun not intended. Hole. I wasn't digging holes. I was basically digging out parts of holes.
Oh, okay.
To like, so what we're working at these apartments being built in E-Town.
Yeah.
All the way in Elizabethtown. That's like an hour drive away every day. That's where I was at the past 3 days. And we're installing so, you have your like circuits outside, right? And you have these giant pipes that lead up into those circuits, right? And they go underground through, at least in apartment buildings, that's where they go. And I think for pretty much any residential area. So, and there's like 9-10 buildings, right? 10 giant buildings, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of ditches that are being dug. And
Jesus.
Not only that, you have to like the ground. We're only digging out like certain portions of the ground. So it's like how do I? So, the pipe comes out, right?
Yeah.
And you're just digging out like this fucking tiny hole.
Right.
And it's like got to be perfectly fitted for a pipe to go in there. And it's like 8 feet down. Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's deep. It goes deep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And it's fucking torture. It feels like it is a goddamn. My fingers are all blistered.
Dude, you were talking about blisters when we were playing video games, and I was like, I wonder what he was doing. But I figured you were going to talk about it on the podcast, but I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Blisters from digging, that checks out.
And, I have blisters all over my hands. I have, they all feel better now, so it's fine. They only hurt like the first day or two.
Oh, that's good.
So, but that's fine. And I had gloves on, so it was easier because they weren't whatever.
Right.
But the worst part is where we live, and it's like, it was the first day I was doing it because I've only done it 2 days out of 3 days I was there, and the first day it said 88 degrees, and I was laughing at that because the real feel was like 95, 96, something like that. Yeah. Because of the humidity. It was there's nothing worse than, and it's just fucking beating down on you, the sun. There's nothing worse.
This week has been really rough for that because it's been so wet lately, so the humidity's really up, and it's been hot. It's been fucking hot.
It's so hot. It's annoying. It's so annoying. And then yesterday it wasn't humid, but like the UV thing was like a 9 out of 10 or something like that.
Yep.
So I literally felt myself frying. I was outside. Sunburn.
I was outside during the day for like 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I started to sweat, and I could feel my skin doing that thing where it's like, oh, this is not good. Like I'm going to get a sunburn. And I was out there 5 minutes. That's all it took for me to be like, went back inside.
Yeah, it was, and they do there's some things I will save till later to talk about it too, because I don't want to throw the company under a bus.
Fair enough.
But anyway, or the people who I was working for, who were all nice. They were all nice guys. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
I'm already
they're all
just
men.
Trashing everybody I work with.
Yeah, well,
That's
I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna put them in.
No, totally. Yeah, that's a good call.
But you're what? It's different.
I shouldn't have been naming names, but
no. It's fine what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yours are. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But anyway, it was like
that's not for you guys at home.
That's not for you guys at home. It's for me and Tim to have
for us.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but man, I was doing it, and yesterday I was digging, and the sun was beating down on me. I was there for like 10 minutes or something, and my shirt was like drenched. Dude. And I was like drinking water, so I was like not dehydrated, thank God. Because they were making sure no one was dehydrated and stuff. So
that's good.
Yeah, there's that. But fuck. You ever used a jackhammer?
No,
before?
But I imagine that your arms get all noodly when you're done.
They get well. It's not only that. So you think a jackhammer would do like, because you see it in like shows and stuff and like movies. You think it would just go right, and all the rocks would just break apart, and it's like, oh, it's that easy.
No,
no. In these tools that we're using, it's not tools where it's like, oh, you just power it on and you let the tool do the work. It's like it's just there to help you actually so you're still like
you're applying the pressure.
You're
it's
still
not
putting pressure down. And also a jackhammer, the jackhammer we were using, 66 pounds.
Yeah, okay.
So that's like my dog holding 2 jars of yams. Mayonnaise. Yams. Sure.
Yams.
You take it, right? Yeah. You take it.
I'll take it.
And also, it's not like I'm in a big open space or whatever. I'm like by the edge of an apartment building.
Oh, yeah.
And one time it slipped out from under me and I fell, and like the corner of the apartment was like right here. And I fell like head first into the corner, like sticking out.
Yeah.
And it got me like right in the, like right above my eye, like right here. And like I fell like head, like forcefully, like head first, and like afterwards I'm like, I either have stitches there, or like I'm either gonna need stitches. Like immediately after I was like, is there blood? If there's blood, time to go get stitches. There's no way that didn't just like bust me open. And if it didn't bust me open, that's gonna be a black eye. Fucking nothing.
Really?
I got nothing from it. It didn't even hurt crazy. That bad later, but the way I threw my head into it and the way it hit my eye, I felt it. I was like, that's, if my eye was open and it was just like, I don't know, maybe half an inch higher, I would be gone. I would have lost an eye.
That's rough.
Yeah, and I had to sit down for a second, and I was like, don't, what am I doing? Is there a way to be safer? There isn't. That's just what you do in construction. That's what everyone's doing. So it's a different job. But now I've been thinking, I'm like, I used to complain so much when they start doing road work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in a part, and they do it for like, it takes like a year or whatever. Yo, it should take like 5.
Yeah.
That's how I feel now. I'm like, I get it. It should take like 5 years to, it's annoying and it sucks, and you can complain about that, but man, I used to be like, why is this not done yet? Because it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you want to go out there and do it? No. No, you don't. And it was nice to know that everyone kind of felt the same way about the work I was doing. Yeah. Like literally everyone I would talk to was like, that is the worst part. That is the worst. Hands down, it is the worst part of the job. If you get past that, you did it. Essentially. Yeah. I mean, and I thought other parts were annoying and awful. Oh, I'll do that over digging clay in the hot sun.
Yeah, that checks out. But that's nice when other people can like commiserate a little bit and be like, yeah, no, that part just sucks.
I wish there was a little more, but that's okay. It was still, I'm a complainer though, so not everyone else, not everyone else there is a complainer. Like I'd be like, holy fuck, guys, right? And they'd be like, you get used to it. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you just don't. How do you get used to it?
I don't. Digging a hole, like the couple times that I've done it, it's one of those things that it's hard for me to not start to just feel depressed while and the reason being that it feels like you're not making any progress. You know what I mean? Like you just keep going and eventually it gets dug. But like you just keep going and you can't really see any progress for a long time. Oh my
God.
It fucking sucks.
Dude, there was this one part where I'm like, so I don't know what used to be there, but there are pipes underground already. And we were digging those out to reuse them for our thing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so I'm digging like to get to these 3 pipes that I know are there. There's one that's uncovered. I'm trying to uncover 2 more.
Yeah.
So we can like lift them up and like cut them and or whatever.
Yeah.
And for some reason it's like gravel there.
Right.
So I'm digging out rocks essentially, right? With a shovel. And it's just gravel all the way in. So in Minecraft, you know how annoying
gravel
is in Minecraft and stuff? And you're like, you beat one out and then like 9 fall down. You're like, oh, it's going to take me forever to get out of here. That's accurate as fuck.
Yeah.
It's accurate as fuck.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm digging and then it's like as soon as I uncover, like, I'm like, oh, it's there. All the gravel just falls right back down and I got to do it again.
Oh my God.
All the gravel that's like 8 feet out is gone.
Yeah.
And like over here.
Yeah.
And it's
Jesus.
nothing defeats you more, I think.
That's rough.
And yesterday at the end, because I don't know, I was trying to put like a strap on the pipe to keep it like close to the wall so it doesn't move around. And it's weird because it's like in the wall, you got to hold it with your left hand and then hold the other one with your right hand and screw it in at the same time. So it's and use like like channel locks to do it. Right. And I just couldn't, I don't have the dexterity yet to be that good at doing that stuff. I'm sure, that comes in time.
Definitely.
With doing
Definitely.
it. But I don't have that yet. I'm not very dexterous at all.
Right.
So I have a rough time holding it and turning it at the same time, and it's like hot to hold it, and it's hot beating down, and I'm just sweating, and I can't get it done at all, and it took me like 20 minutes just trying to get that one strap on.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like you're less adequate too, because everyone else around you gets it done like that quickly.
That's the worst, man. When you're starting out on something new in some sort of job that you've never done anything like that, and you're way slower than everybody else. And
I'm like that everywhere.
And it's frustrating too, because you like, it's not even part of it's not even about like I'm slower than the other people. It's just like I want to get this thing done. I just want to have this little bit done. Yeah. Can I just do this thing?
I'd also like to feel like I'm helping too. Yeah. Because that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
And if
that's the worst.
Yeah, it was.
Which is like, that's normal. Like there's nothing wrong with that because you haven't done that before. That's fine. But like,
and also sometimes people don't.
Yeah, people don't always understand.
People don't understand that where I work. Not necessarily the people I was working with there, but I do know some people I've worked with who aren't always like in. Even people who understand it at one point don't understand it at another point. Yeah, it's like I don't know any of this. I don't know how to do. I'm not a handyman. I've never had to work. And I've never really done it well either, working with my hands. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
I've always been more of the brains guy. Or like as soon... That's what I'm excited to learn is about electrician stuff. I'd like to learn like how scientifically the electric stuff works. Yeah. So I can like, I can do that part more than the other part. But I'll do the other part, to get there to learn that. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So that's fun. I think it's one of the hardest things you can do that isn't climbing Mount Everest or something. You said climbing a mountain, and I was like, ooh, yeah.
But see, that's what, like, I would say yours is actually a really good one for being like that's the hardest, because my point being like it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like people that climb mountains a lot are not they're not going to tell you that it's easy or anything, but like it's maybe not harder, but like,
and they find enjoyment from it.
But if you make those people dig a hole, they're gonna be like, no, this is the worst.
Exactly.
You know,
and those people find enjoyment from even the people who I was working with who were like, you get used to it kind of thing.
It's not like we enjoy it.
They didn't say they enjoyed it or it wasn't fucking difficult, hard, and annoying as hell. Yeah. They didn't say any of that.
It's just no, you get used to it.
They just don't talk about it.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm the one who will talk. I'll talk about it. I'll let you know. It's the worst fucking shit in the world.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I agree.
And
I think that might be the worst.
I realized, like, I came home and I was, like, real upset after the first day because I was like, do I want to do that? Is this something that I have to do? Because forever? Because I don't...
It'd be hard to not feel that way a little bit.
I don't know if I can handle that physically. And Emma was trying to make me feel better because she's like, you have no idea how many family friends we've had. Because it's her stepdad that got me the job, right?
Yeah.
How many family friends they've had that have quit just one day after doing that and being like, nope, that's not for me. Yeah. So it's like, no one's going to judge you if you do that. And I haven't done that yet. So, and I don't want to. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's good.
I don't want to quit. So we'll see.
I respect that.
We'll see. And I hope that they find... I think that what will go a long way is I don't do anything that really helps them for, I don't know, a while.
Yeah.
Like I'm over there and I like dug out just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's barely anything.
Yeah.
You know, they could have done that in 3 minutes or something like that.
I feel that, yeah.
Maybe that's how it is. But if they see that I'm sticking around and I'm still trying, I'm not like... You know, I'm not trying to avoid it or whatever. I'm just doing it and I don't quit.
Yeah.
Then I feel like that might go a long way.
I feel like that's helped me in a lot of things. Is just like me sticking with it. Just because there have been, like when I was working it, I always bring it up, but Barrels Unlimited, like I was not very good at the work. It took me a long time to do like very much. But they loved me there because I just kept going.
You just kept doing it, yeah.
And it's, I mean, it was the same thing with installing it, like Premiere, like when I was doing the installs and I felt like I was not good or anything. It's like, well, yeah, but I always, like when I'm there, I'm working and I do the work. You know, that's it. And you do the work. And
I feel like what helps in that too is what the one guy said to me there is when he said you get used to it.
Yeah.
He didn't say it gets better or it gets easier. He said you get used to it, and getting used to it might help with that too.
I'm sure.
Because it's more, you're more, it's not that it's easier, but you're just more, you know what you're doing more and you know what it takes, how much strength to put in, how much break to give yourself and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you don't want to be an electrician, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I get it. And so does many people.
Yeah.
But also everyone needs a trade.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Everyone needs to be in the trade.
Everybody should have a trade.
Everyone should be an electrician.
Everyone should just trade.
Now. The bartering system is coming back.
Everybody just switch.
Look to your right.
Look into your eyes.
You have a partner there? Look to your right.
Look to your right.
Would you say look to your eyes?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look to your eyes first and then look to your partner. I don't know how you're going to look to your eyes, but maybe cross them. And look to your partner over there and just switch it up.
Switch it up. Switch it up.
Say, hey, baby, just switch me. Well, you want to call that an episode right now, Tim?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to call it an episode.
Wow, we talked about our jobs in this episode.
Yeah, it's a super fun one for everybody else to listen to.
Super fun.
Have it.
Dude, if this was a year ago, I would have like heard me talk about my job and I would have been like, shut the fuck up, I'm bored. You're boring.
Yeah,
That's boring. It's boring. Yeah. If you had told me a year ago that I was going to be where I'm at now as an electrician or whatever, or working to be an electrician, I would have laughed in your fucking face.
In mine?
Yeah, you.
Wow.
Fucker.
Wow.
because I've been like, no, why would I ever? No, I know myself.
Yeah.
Oops.
Not as much as you thought you did.
Not as much as I thought I did. And I still do. I mean, I still would be like, if I didn't have a lovely girlfriend that I'd love to support in life for our future, then I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Really, and you know, because her stepdad also worked in. If I didn't have something that, my goals changed a little bit, and I kind of realized where I want, you know, why I.
Yeah, because before you were more focused on like I need to get a job that is that's like what I want to do.
Yeah,
and now it's more of like I need to have a job that will allow me to do the things that I want to do with the rest of my time.
With that, and isn't a job that I want to die in.
Yeah, I need a job that I don't hate.
And you know, it's we're still figuring out if this is that.
Right.
Because you know, digging holes or whatever is not that, but I guess we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how I feel about it. But
yeah, you will. We do it.
We do it.
We do it.
So thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Your nighttime is likely to be over in the next coming hours. So rest up, get it on, sleeping. I don't know why. You should let him listen to. Thank you. And Tim's about to press the button right now. I think he's. You gonna press it?